Hello friends, welcome. I'm Commissar Mark and today we are going to be making another video about their Billions 800% campaign. We're gonna continue our campaign that we started some time ago. I didn't make an episode in a while and it was because people are just not interested in it, but I enjoy making it, so I'm gonna make this one anyway. And we are going to have a little bit of a problem that we are gonna have to face here. So when we ended up last time in the campaign, we did the frozen lake, and now we are in a situation where we could go to only four possible missions, but two of them are locked by swarms. These swarms are big. I can't beat those two swarms with the units we have, and this is a bit of a problem because I personally think that the Wasteland of the Giants is much easier than Narrow Pass or Lowlands. This is one of those cases where on 800%, some of the early missions can actually be like super punishing to play, even with proper tech. And so I wanted to do something that we could beat that swarm to be able to head to Wasteland of the Giants, but we can't. I tried everything we could and it's not possible, but off screen I did clear that one easy swarm that led to the Narrow Pass from the original pass from the left where you're supposed to clear it from. That's gone now. You can do that as well because you get empire points for beating swarms. You don't get any research, but even empire points can make a difference, as every soldier can make a difference in beating the further swarms. So I beat that. You can also clear it. It's not difficult. Just play some soldiers, let them win. With all your empire points, of course. And we are gonna have to make a decision now. Do we go to the Narrow Pass or the Lowlands? Those are the only two I can go to, and both of them are mean. So I think Narrow Pass is better, but unfortunately it also doesn't actually lead anywhere. But it will make us stronger with research, and so I still think we are gonna go to Narrow Pass first. So that's gonna be on the menu today, and I'm gonna quickly blitz through the research tree and show you what we've picked up so far, just in case you are not familiar with what we've picked up, so that you know where I am with my tech. Welcome to the command center. From here I'm gonna show you what the steps are in order for us to succeed in this pretty difficult mission. I'm gonna also try to outline milestones as we play, so that you can follow along and try to catch up economically and militarily to what I'm doing. Specifically, Narrow Pass is gonna be one of the first missions in which you need to go into it having a plan. If you don't, then you will fail. The previous missions were in such a, even on 800%, it was in such an area that you could go in and just improvise and be able to do well. Unfortunately, in Narrow Pass, it starts to become obvious that you can't do that because the over-aggression is incredibly easy to achieve here, and that is a bad thing, where even your starting rangers could draw too many infected, and the punishing random attacks that happen will overrun you unless you are very careful and plan around it. I know that there was even some person commenting before that this game is like 90% luck and 10% skill. No, not really. It's all about experience. Like, you obviously jumping into 800%, you should have played the campaign before. If you just jump into it as a freshman, you are not going to be able to do too well because the game counts on your knowledge of the game. Additionally, it's also about reaction, how you react to things. If you are panicking, you will make more mistakes, causing further economic and military spiral into getting overrun. It's very easy and quick to get overrun. So yes, there is a luck element involved, such as where the attacks spawn from, when is it gonna happen with the random attacks and such. Yes, that is an element that has luck in it, and no denying that. But it's not 90%, it's like 10% of the game is luck, but most of it is experience and even unlucky person. I'm very unlucky in most games that I play. If there is RNG involved, I always get the shaft. So you can take my word that even with my cursed luck, I'm still able to do their billions on 800%, and it's not that difficult. It's just you have to deal with things, and even if you get unlucky, you can deal with it. But that's a tangent. Anyway, let's get back to the map in question. So you see all the resources on the map. we are not going to be claiming all these resources. We want to claim, I'm going to just show you the optimal borders for our city when we get to our maximum extent. And not just that, but there is going to be a very significant part early game when we need to be extremely careful about these areas where there are too many runners to poke into with our rangers. Even when we have more of them than the starting amount, it's just not going to be enough, because narrow pass is so narrow and so small that if you cause too much noise in one side of the river that runs through the middle, you will aggro the enemies from the other side. This is a very big problem, especially when the runner groups start to hit and you need to react to the swarm. Meaning one shocking tower will not be enough. We need to be in a position where we can have two at once placed on both sides of the river, either north or south first. And that is going to secure or anchor our base, basically, to prevent any enemies from being able to breach that side. And you will see that you still kind of want at least a couple of guards with the shocking tower, because executives resist shocking tower blast and you need someone to take care of them. So anyway, the biggest problem, as I said, is that if you just build one shocking tower on one side, it's gonna create so much noise that the other side will also get aggroed and it will run into your base and kill you. So you need to be in a position where you save up resources and build two shocking towers at once, one on each side, and also walls. And that's how you secure this map. And I want to do it in such a way that I cannot predict where the attack is gonna come from. For me, the first attack on day 12 happened from the north, but it's possible that for you it will happen from the south. So I still recommend what I did, which is go south, build defenses there first, because I find that the harder area to deal with, because there are more runners packed more closely and it's much closer to your base. So set up shocking towers around, I think I did it around day 8. I'm gonna do milestones when I cover the actual gameplay. But anyway, yeah, so you want to do this as a sort of like a buddy system where the shocking towers can't be alone on either side. You have to have an accompanying tower on the other side. I will also make around 30 max rangers. It's quite a bit, but we want to opt out for soldiers once we get iron. And I'm gonna probably also touch on, when we get hit by a swarm, what we do is at that point we will have shocking towers basically covering each one of those entrances into our base. We need to achieve 1000 population and we need some of those resources and the fertile land, right? So what we want to do is, once the swarm hits, we take all of our troops, if possible, maybe leave a couple of guards with the shocking towers, but push one direction as much as possible before the next swarm hits. And that's how you basically secure these arms of you can think of it like 4 arms of the base, going 2 up and 2 down, right? Another thing, you need to sacrifice fertile land early on. Don't be afraid of building workshops or other things on fertile land. You need to do that because space is a premium here and we don't have the luxury of saving fertile land for farms. And there is enough anyway. There is a lot of fishing and more fertile land along the banks as we expand, so no need to worry about it. Just build even housing or workshops on the fertile land if necessary. Of course, don't do it, you know, if you have other space, but if you run out of space, just build it. There is no, it's better to expand quickly than trying to save up for that perfect farm, right? Makes sense. Now, before we start, something to say about the milestones. If you fall behind and don't follow exactly on what I managed to achieve in that time frame, don't worry, you can still beat the mission. I had quite a few days at the end free, basically, even on hardest difficulty, without me having to do anything, really, just recruit troops. And you don't even need that many troops on this. Even shocking towers with just a couple of backup units would do quite well. So if you fall behind, no need to worry about it too much, but keep in mind that early clearing here is extremely important and the time frame for that is important, and setting up those early defenses. But in terms of like overall economic progression, you can be behind and still manage to achieve victory here. Another small little bonus, I forgot to mention the commands in the overview. We can send one of our rangers early on to collect a stash of 500 gold and 20 food from the southwestern part of the map. There are some shamblers nearby, but if you run in and run back, all of the shamblers will lose interest before they encounter the colony, and you can use additional ranger if possible to help clear the couple that will come to attack your city. So that should result in you having an extra early game boost to facilitate those important researches and recruitment. Now, normally I do not do walls, I do flexible defense, but on Narrow Pass, starting here and in some other missions going forward, what I'll usually do is use flexible defense forward to clear, and then have a fallback line with walls where we can run to if there are too many runners coming suddenly with the random attacks, so we can fall behind walls, clear the waves that are attacking, and then push forward again. This is so that the shambler enemies will not get drawn into that fight and don't result in overwhelming our defenses. One of the things that I could have done better, and you can as well, is that since we have the black market technology, we gain gold for killing infected. When a swarm happens, it's like a huge influx of gold that you can't even reasonably spend because wood is gonna limit your expansion a lot. So instead, what you can do is use that gold to either recruit troops or expand if possible, but also just queue up research, because you don't want to waste that gold that otherwise would get wasted since your stockpile amount is relatively limited. Now here, unfortunately, my OBS didn't record properly, so I lost part of this, but that means I can't show you many other milestones, but suffice to say, now you wait for day 20, when another horde happens, you beat it, and then you expand another arm of those 4 little directions. Normally I would secure the other northern pass first, the left, and then go south. Usually wait for a horde, then clear another passage. Probably you can get 2 of the southern ones at once before the last attack happens. The last attack should be at day 36, and I had plenty of time before that came in, so I managed to recruit even more. I set up some extra wasp turrets at the shocking towers, double stone walls and extra stone walls in front. It was not really necessary to have such heavy defenses. Early game this map is extremely difficult, but late game and mid game is actually not that bad once you get the shocking towers set up, but problem is the over aggro and the easy loss due to noise.
Our great general has returned. 3 years have passed and the Empire now holds 12 colonies. I do not know if it's talent or mere luck that accompanies you, but you have become the most valuable instrument for the new Empire. Be aware, your responsibility is growing. If the new colonies succumb to the infection, the infected will multiply in such a way that even the prominent walls of the Great Crater will not be enough to avoid the ruin of Empire City. And we would return to the darkest time known by humans. The fate of the new Empire is in your hands now. You may continue on your way.
Now with all the research we've got, I will pick up one upgrade, which is corpse recycling, which is gonna allow us to gain 2 gold per infected killed instead of 1, and it's essentially gonna double that bonus, and it's essentially very useful early game on all maps going forward, since you kill 15 infected and you can slap down an extra 10 early game. Very useful, and also each horde basically becomes a huge treasure trove of money, because as you kill them with a shocking tower, you just get so much gold that you don't know what to spend it on. and that's very useful. So that's gonna be my pick, and next time we will head probably to the lowlands, which I'm not looking forward to, but we might have to beat it. So anyway, thanks for watching and see you around. Bye.